And let me start the discussion today. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Haras. Uh, Everybody knows me as Haras. And I'm eighth grade, currently living in Malang. Um, I do my study at National Leader School. Okay, so let's go. So about me. So my TikTok account, the name is Atlas Limatel, and what I do in my TikTok account is doing modifications. For example, I'm currently modifying my motorcycle, and my highest viewer is 330,000 viewers. And my motivation for being an influencer is social media can be used for things and upskilling my communication skills, sharing simple meal modification. So like I could exercise my communication skills so that it would be much better and I could share to the people what Epstein to the people that uses the same motorcycle as me. So yeah. And for example, is these are some of my inspiration. We got Garasi Drift, we got Ruby Fain, and we got Dafakaye, we got Dendimas. So, what age, what age range do you consider a kid in this context? Under 10, under 13, under 18? Why? For everybody that wants to answer this question, you may raise your hand.
I think Epstein's so much interested in responding this. Epstein, come
Yeah,
on, man.
nod. It's kind of creepy over here. Oh, come on, Epstein. You can do it.
Oh, wait. Hello, my name is Jeffrey Epstein. I'm from United
Hello.
States. Um, what are we talking about? I'm sorry, I just came by. Would you like to repeat the question? Or would you like to come to my house, harassed?
No, thank you. I don't want to come to your house or even your island. So the question is, do you consider a kid in this context under 10, under 13, or under 18, and why?
You mean Abe?
Yeah,
Um,
Abe,
I
me,
think,
or everybody.
okay, so what age do I consider a kid being a kid? Um, I think it's supposed to be under 13 years old, considering that we have two types of transition between a kid into teenagers and a teenager into adulthood, which I believe that the transition happens when they hit puberty. That's where I think around 12 to 13 years old, both boys and girls. So if you're under, yeah, 12 years old, I think I would still consider you as a kid because I think you still are learning of how to connect certain areas of your brains. That's where some kids are just trying to playing along rather than learning um, specifically upon their interest. And that's also the age of how parent or teachers really focus on developing their own interest first, rather than imposing too much knowledge that is not even um, should they learn at the moment of their development. Um, About 13 years old, I think I would consider them as teenager and heating up to certain ages of national definition of maturity. I think it would be 17 years old in Indonesia. So if you're above 17 years old, I think they would consider you as an adult. and you are, uh, you know, yeah, obliged to, to have certain responsibilities, or you're gonna be looked as somebody who's been understanding consequences from your actions. So I would consider under 13 years old as a kid. Um, if it's under 10, I think it's just too young. Yeah, I think that's my answers. Back to you, because I love kids around that age, 10 to 13 years old.
Whoa. Well, luckily I'm older.
Well, you're still accepted in my island if you want to.
Okay, never mind. All right, so because there's not that many people, I think I'll pick between Kak Aulia or Kak Teresa. I will pick Kak Teresa. The floor is yours.
Can you repeat it again? I'm sorry, my internet is bad. Hmm.
Oh, okay, so I'm choosing you to answer this question on the slide.
This. I think a kid is under 10 maybe, because 10 up to or certain it's teenager, right? And 18 it's not a kid anymore. I think under 10 is a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, maybe
Is
because like, sorry, yeah, you may.
yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know what I need to say on this discussion, guys.
It's okay. Just relax. This is only the all of us. Well, I do agree. Like under 10 is you can still call under 10 is kid because they haven't hit puberty yet, which I've heard that puberty starts around 12 up to 13. Okay, so Mr. Sunshine or the host wants to answer this question. You may
Yes.
answer it.
I think I beg to differ with what has been stated by a absence stated before, or a Teresa said before, in regards to the kids we are talking about here. It is not about being 13 or a 10, but because I believe that those under 18 is the most righteous answer, because if you somehow like above 20 years old and you date with somebody still in that age, I mean like under 18, you still considered a pedophile, even if like love knows no boundaries, regardless of the age. But I don't know. When you're dating someone who can start, I think rationally, like those under 18 and above 13, they still considered as a kid, because as a matter of law, yeah, as a matter of law, they still uh, the moment somebody dating them, yeah, it can be considered pedophile. What do you... Okay, I think that's my comment. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, some of the answers are really great, but one of them is it's kind of funny. All right, let's move on to our next slide, everybody. Okay, what type of influencing? Are we talking about family vlogs, gaming, educational content, product reviews, or lifestyle content? And if you are to support your child in becoming an influencer, which sector or area would you consider most promising for their long-term development, regardless of current trend? All right, guys, who wants to answer again? Since because I haven't called Kaalia, you may answer Ka.
Hello, Mr. Haras. Thank you for the opportunity. I think if I have a child in on my future, I will support my child in educational content. Can you hear me? I Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
if
audible.
yes, if I have a child, I will support my child in educational content. Maybe my child can focus one or two educational, not many types of educational. Maybe one or two aspect. Why I choose this? Because if my child want to make vlog about his or her life, I think it's maybe sometimes can make dangerous, and then because our our family will be seen with many people, and when my child is become influencing for gaming, I just worry if my child in future uh, focus on their game, but not really focus on his educational. So I will choose educational content.
Okay, I do agree. Because like honestly, gaming, if you see in the internet, there's so many people cussing bad words. So like educational content is really great for your kids. All right, so let me ask one of the unique people over here. Jeffrey Epstein, can I hear some answer from you?
Sure. Um, Regardless of the possibilities and any way possible, I know that having kids on social media is on vogue these days, but for me personally, I'm gonna stand upon the narrative that kid is not supposed to influence others in a way that they need to flaunt themselves in social media. I believe that if they wanna, if they wanna be a part of influencers, uh, it's either because of their parents is, controlling or managing the way they are doing. For example, they sort of promoting how to be a good parenting styles, um, while the kids are being a part of that management. But the kid is, if the kid is doing it out of their interest, I think um, it's sort of dangerous to allow uh, kids be a part of social media without any control or any standards to be allowed. Either it's family vlogs, gaming, or even educational content. It's, not, I always believe that kids are not supposed to be in social media under, the legal age possible. But even if they're still on social media, again, parents should take any roles on it. Um, but if I were to support, well, anyway, I just want to make sure that I'm actually child free. So I couldn't answer that. But even if that I'm gonna support any child, whoever child, in becoming an influencer, I think it would, yeah, start from their hobbies. But again, it's not because of their own interests. And it's not because of the social media, even though it's a powerful primary tool to plan their activities. But if it's out of their own their own doing, then I don't want to support them at all. But again, I'm ready to bite the bullet. If anyone some of the celebrities in Indonesia specifically allow their children be a part of the media, exposure. Yeah, it's because you know they're they don't really care about how much development they think could be influenced by that. Specifically because they're gonna get exposed to a lot of things. Well, I don't say that child actors or child celebrities are bad because they are part of the media. It's just because I feel like it's it brings more harm than good to be a part of the social media too early without any proper management and control from the parents or any guidance possible. Specifically in Indonesia, that we don't have a really strict standard upon that. Like look at an example of other childs in other countries, influencing through volunteerisms in school projects and so on and so forth. But if it's Indonesian that promoting their be influencing for like being a good wealthy family like Nikita Willis' child or Raffi Ahmad's children, I don't think that's even influencing at all. What should be taken off from that videos, right? Like look at Rafathar, who can actually take an example of that. So just because they're famous doesn't mean they're influencers. I think it's something that you need to really underline on that particular definition of being influencers. Even though some people get influence, but I feel like being famous doesn't signify that you are actually influencers. So I think that's all my answer for this question. But regardless of whoever, either you're influencers or not, I still love kids. I love kids deep down to my bones.
Okay, that's a very good answer from Mr. Epstein. And yeah, I want somebody to answer this question. I want to hear from Mr. Maratua. Can you please answer this question?
Yeah, Mr. Hutch. Sorry, before I'm new joining. So this is a so I don't before I'm sorry I'm not follow before, but I think that this is a good topic. So I think yeah, many people and many influencing uh, from Indonesian artists. So I think the children, how to say, the children uh, maybe I think as well based on conclusion or about something policy from father and mother. So I think the children not good and not ethic to publish or media social join to media. I think that that's not good, but well maybe to to learning and to say to something learn after the children have uh, old where we talk about years old, yeah, maybe in minimum the children can be joined to publish media as influencer, yeah, maybe minimum 7 years old, but under 7 years old not good because so many um, negative impact from the internet and from the situation technology editing. So I think that's my opinion, Mr. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, by the way, to Mr. Maratwa. I think as what stated by the mother in the group, seems like that is a quite a problem in the signals. So I guess I will be the one to resume the discussion. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm going to share the screen. Hope you still like to wait for a while. Right. I think this is feasible, right? Isn't it? Wait. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Maratwa, for the responses. That's so great. Yeah. Okay, back to you again, Haras.
Okay, sorry everybody for the trouble because I have trouble with my internet, but I'm back. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. All right, so our next question is there a difference between a child appearing occasionally in family content versus being in the primary content creator? What makes child influencers stand out compared to adult influencers? Who should own the earnings and the child, the parents, they share? Okay, so I want to hear an answer from Tarisa Najwa. Hello? Okay.
Sorry, I can't get it. Can everyone answer this question first? And I'll be the second to answer it.
Okay, it's okay. I think I will hear from Ka Aulia, please.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm still I'm still try to understand what the meaning of appearing occasionally in family content. Is that mean if the child is just appear sometimes and
Yes.
being the primary content creator, it means the child is the main actor of content creator.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, okay. Um, okay, thank you for the opportunity. For me, I think I will. It's better to ask the the kids before do the content. I mean, the kids under maybe under 17, we have to know what they want. If our child just want to appear occasionally, I think we have to understand their their comfort zone. But if our children want to become primary content creator, it actually it's okay too. But we as a parents need to make our children understand the impact and what they have to do what they have to do as long as they become content creator. I think they need to understand the terms, and then the management time and another impact. And second question is, what makes child influencers stand out compared to adult influencer? I think because the value of the content, if our child make a good content, there are maybe like value of life, or maybe entertain, or maybe full education content. I think our children can be more stand out. And the third question, who should own the earnings, the child, the parents, or shared? For me, for now, I will choose the kids uh, because if if our kids become the primary content creator, I think our child start to start to work and make many how do you say karya, yeah, and make many content. So the earnings, I think it should be I think the earning should to give to kids. Maybe the parents can can help the children to saving the money, but for use I think it's for the, kids. I think it's for kids. How do you say kebutuhan, ya? I think it's for kids
Needs.
needs. Yes. That's all from me.
Okay. For Kak Teresa Najwa, are you ready to answer this question?
Yes, I am. And
Okay.
what makes child influencers stand out compared to adult influencer? I think because uh, we scroll social media to enjoy it, right? So for me, I'm a Gen Z, and I enjoy to scroll TikTok, like Instagram, or something like that. And I need to enjoy to scroll it, like uh I like to see the cuteness of the kids, like Abil Cikut, Cipong. I enjoy to see the cuteness, the um yes, I like to see the child, like Gen Z, like the cute of Cipong, and the other's baby. And who should own the earnings, the child or the parent, or shared? I think the child should own the earnings, but the parents should manage their child money, for maybe they can save the earnings from social media and bank account. It's from the child future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's all of my answer.
Okay, so other person here, Omai, can you answer this question? Hello. Okay, let's move on to the next question over here. Should we distinguish between children who want to create content versus those are getting pushed by their parents? And what age can a child meaningfully consent to being an influencer? Where are we confusing potential with exploitability? Okay. Omazie, hello. Okay, I think I'll ask uh Ka Teresa Najwa.
Okay, should we distinguish between children who want to create content versus those pushed by parents? Mm, maybe yes, because I think children have uh their I think parents need to ask their children permission to have a content in social media. Like if if they push their children to stand out in social media, but the children uh, don't want it, it's really bad, I think. And at what age can a child meaningfully consent to being an influencer? Are we confusing potential with exploitability? Um, maybe if it sorry,
Yeah.
I think children who want to be an influencer, it's like 13 maybe, or when they become a senior high school student maybe. And we we can confusing potential with exploitability, because if we have if they have a potential and they want to expose it in social media, why not? But if parents push uh their children to post on social media, I think it's called exploitability. Maybe it's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Teresa, for the answer. And Omazie, are you there? Okay. I think he or she is not available. I think I would like to hear an answer from the host. Can you please answer this question?
Why not? Wait a minute. Okay. So, yes. Um, I think we need to be able to differentiate between the true willingness of the children, or whether they are the driver focus purely on the parents, because sometimes it is the parents who actually manage to specifically pinpoint the exact talents or something that can be growth from the children, or can be empowered from the children, while the children have no strong initiative to orbit or to calibrate their actions, their potential. It is the parents who should be the one to direct or to lead the children to the right path, right? So sometimes I think it is justifiable for the parent to push the children, because they still cannot rationally think or determine what kind of path that they should take, right? Even if, like, to some extent, like, regardless of the age that is considered as the children, but I think the push should be fairly, proportionally, and gradually given to the children, uh, not being excessive or something like that. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted for a while. Okay, so um, in addition to that, I think the children should also be taught on how to be consent. I mean, like if to some extent, someone considered consent when they can bring their fetus right, they can change uh, who they think are proper to lead the country, right? It's like 18 years old. Okay, so until then, they should be nurtured on how to think more logically and how they can use the rational. So that way, we can anticipate on what kinds of motivations, what kinds of innovations that they want to change, that they want to make from the path that has been made before. So uh, what I meant, I'm afraid that if it is the children willingness to become the content creator where they have no willingness at all, yeah, it will be too late for the parents to realize that, oh my God, that the children to realize that they actually have the talent for that. And it's just so late for them to bring that up because they are more reluctant because they don't have someone to push. And it is the duty of the parents who have the energy, who know the total background of the children, right? Okay. So, uh, if we are somehow confused on how we can determine the potential or exploitability, the potential should be exploited to the fullest. It should be empowered, and when it is exploited fairly, okay, exploit fairly means that we also consider the rights. It is not be done excessively, so we still take some considerations on what they want to talk on behalf of themselves, okay, what they wants to do, what they wants to so we always concerns with what they want, okay, while still providing them with pros and cons so that they can be more wise with their choices. I think this is the sole and the ultimate duty of the parents, okay. And yeah, this is something good. Okay, I think that's from 2 cents from me, Mr. Haras. Thank you.
Wow, that's a very good answer. And honestly, like for me, so when I was little, I used to have like my favorite YouTube channel named Ryan's Toys Review. And it turns out that their parents actually forced him to make those contents. Like honestly, like for me, I have to force them because like honestly, for like the age like 6 years up, honestly, that's like the age for children to learn, not to make content, not you know what I mean? But like for example, for me, I I made I make content because I like that's what I'm passionate about. It's not because of my parents forcing me and so yeah. Moving on to the next slide. Should there be limits on working hours like child labor laws for child influence? Who is responsible if a child influencer is harmed by the parents, the platforms, or the society? Should there be a minimum age requirement for social media influence similar to employment laws? All right, this is a very uh let me ask Omaizie, are you available? Okay, I think uh she's not still available. Let me hear from Kaulia.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Should there be limits on working hours? I think yes. We need to. Uh, we. If, I think if a child's working as influencer, we the child need to know the limit of working. Maybe this is good if the child discuss with their parents and then try to manage with their school or their or their other activity. For example, if the child have a course, so when the kids, when the children do their job as influencer, make it's not disrupt the school agenda or their course agenda. And if child influencer is harmed, I think the responsible I think of I think for this we have to know the case, because sometimes the parents already take care their child, but the society give many negative comment, or maybe in real life the people harm the child. So I think we have to know what the case firstly. And but sometimes the have parents also have responsible to manage and take care their child as influencer. Should there be a minimum age requirement for social influencing? Mm, Even I didn't know the employment laws right now. Uh, should I think should be a minimum age for kids as influencer, because it can make children do their job. Uh, how do you say seimbang ya? It can make kids do their job more stable and didn't disrupt the school or the course agenda. Maybe I can give an example, but not for social media. For and the example in South Korea, in South Korea, there are some minor under 17 become idol. The idol can do their job as a sing, dance, or acting, but just until 10 p.m. How do you say? Jam 10 malam. So after 10 p.m., the idol cannot do the idol who still minor, still adult, can continue their activity as idol again. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So moving on to Tanajua. Can you answer this question?
Okay.
All right. I think there's no answer from.
Should
Okay.
there be limits on working? I am. I'm sorry, my internet is goes down. Can I answer this question?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Of course.
Okay. Should there be limits on working hours like child labor laws for child influencers? Maybe yes. Parents need to limit for their child working hour so as not to interfere with study time. And who is responsible if a child influencer is harm the parents, the platforms, or society? I think it's the parents, because parents are the ones who should supervise their children in becoming influencer. And should there be a minimum age requirement for social media influencing similar to employment laws? Maybe not, but if you are still a minor, you must be under parental supervision. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I want to hear something from Mr. Sunshine.
Yes, I do agree with both speakers in the limitation of the working hours, as well as the how the parents should be the one to supervise them because it's their main obligations, right? As the one who pour and educate and also bring them up. So, all in all, I can say that it should not also it shouldn't be only the parents that bear the responsibility to protect the child influences because I suppose that every platform is supposed to be regulated by the government, so it is the government main role to also protect the influencer regardless of the age, and they should for example like limit or prohibit certain narratives that is can mentally or verbally insult or how to say it's like uh, damage the mantles of anyone that becomes influencer. And on the other hand, I also consider that the child influencer should that is represented or that is how to say supervised or monitored by the parents must be also consent the moment they are legally taking the choice to become influencer. They should also open with any consequences, means that they need to be ready with all harassment, with all supports, not only something good but also expecting something bad from the audiences, because as it's anonymous, okay, where everyone uh, couldn't control themselves. It is totally the freedom of opinion. It's totally jungle where everyone with their fingers can rudely state anything that is existed in their minds. So not only the laws but the government, but also more than anything is the it's a society, but we can expect from the society because it is a external factor, right? Something that we can do is something we have internally, which is ourselves, or small society, which is our family, right? So when it comes to age requirement for social media, I think we should not limit because it's still protected by the parents. The parents will bear everything because when you take a look at AGT, American Got Talent, British Got Talent, we are so amazed with how many children, like, oh my God, they're so small and little, but they do showcase very talented performance, right? Regardless of the areas, like from in terms of sports, in terms of arts, in terms of singing, for example, especially, right? They then that's all the results of how the parents nurture the growth from so much earlier time. And oh my God. Okay, I think that's what I meant. Thank you. Back to you, Aras.
Okay. And honestly, for me, if if they would actually create the limit of working hours for children, honestly, for me, it's not that effective because, like, our government, do they have CCTVs on their civilians' houses? Would they put a CCTV? It's like no way, right? So like even though that they will make the limit on the working hours, it wouldn't be that effective. That's what I thought. All right, moving on. How might being an influencer affect a child's physio, phys, physiological development, identity information, and self-esteem? Can children balance school, normal childhood activities, and content creation without harm? All right, so let me ask. I want an answer from Kak Tarisha Najwa. Oh, whoa, she disconnected. All right. I think next, Kak Aulia. All right.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. How might being an influencer affect a child's psychological development? Yes, I think being an influencer can affect a child's psychological development, identity formation, and self-esteem. Uh, I'm so sorry. Self-esteem is what? I'm not really know the meaning. Self-esteem.
Honestly, I do forget. Mr. Sunshine, do you
Uh,
have the answer? I'm
Oh yeah,
sorry.
self-esteem means that the confidence to be able to execute some things.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
it's something beyond confidence. Okay, there is self-confidence, self-esteem means that the children have awareness that they can execute that things, certain activities.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like optimistic.
Yes, yes, but optimist, but they have the ability to think that they can finish. Okay, it's beyond confidence, but it is
Uh-huh.
something only focusing on activities. Like, oh, you can be number one, or you can achieve that. That's self-esteem.
Okay, okay. I will try to answer. I think when kids become influencer, anything happen as long as they become influencer, it can make it can it have it it can affect their psychological development. For example, how the children give react, how the children thinking, and how the children can solve the problem of their life, and identity formation. For me, the faster children, the faster child decide to become influencer, I think it mean she already know what they want and what they are passionate about. So I think become influencer also can affect children identity and for self-esteem. Mm, I'm not really sure to answer this, but I will try. Uh, I believe when children do their job as influencer, there are many challenges. There are many there are many opinion about her or him, but when the child really know what they want and what the good things to apply in life, I think the children can can how do you say mempertahankan ya? The children
And
can
defend,
what?
defend.
Yeah, I think children can given their idealism. So maybe the example like the children already believe what they did is a good, but another people have a negative comment. I think as long as the child believe to the good activity, uh, children can improve their self-esteem. And the next question, can children balance school, normal childhood activity, and content creation without harm? I think yes, but this is need 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 collaboration with the parents, with the school, and with the another stakeholder. For example, the media or the management want to make a schedule with the children in midnight. I think when their parents and their children want to take a break, I think it's okay if the child didn't do the activity and can uh, and can pass the day with a normal life. Okay, I think that's all from me.
Okay, so I
Uh,
think I want to try to answer this question. Honestly, yes, because it could affect a child's physiological because from that young age that they have been pushed, they have been exploited for making content, and honestly, like from being asked like you have to do this, you have to make this content. Honestly, that could really lowers the child's confident level and about their identity formation. I think honestly, like they could actually be like normally if you see kids, they would be like happy, jumping around and stuff, and maybe because like after that, all of that exploitation that their parents did to their kids, that honestly like is very bad, and their self-esteem too. Uh, it could lowered because like from like originally the kid wants to do this, very happy to compete with other kids, but like because again after being asked and their um their physiological being damaged by the exploitation that their parents did, that could lowers the self-esteem. And I want an answer from Mr. Sunshine.
Yes. Uh, yes. That's where exactly I set the line. I mean, like when it is done excessively, when uh, because to be influencer is something, how to say, it's like bring more, bring, how to say, it's like um, quite promising economical benefits right today. I mean, like you don't have to think seriously in a way. I mean, like to compare being influencer with being economist, for example, you need to think hard as the economist, right? You need to consider data that are representing the fact with certain models, and also put some considerations or some evidence and everything that so exhausting physically and rationally, something like that. But being
Mentally.
influencers, yeah, and being influencer, you have the freedom to live up with your interests. I mean, like to live up something that uh, you think is your cup of tea, right? So this is where um uh this is where differentiate between something related to the intention or the entertainment or not. Okay, when it brings economical benefits, if the parents um, are not careful here, they can be blinded by it, and they will just exploit the children without considering the ability or the physic or the non-physic abilities of the children, and it might leads to certain exploitation, right? So back to the question again. Um, I think the children, I think there are a lot of stories in the history of Indonesia, kids' entertainment, that they are being exploited, right? And the wealth that is taken by them, taken by the parents, or supposed to be earned by them, is actually taken by the parents, and they are ignored, they are abandoned. There are a lot of tragical histories like that. And it is therefore just like this is I'm not talking about child influencers but child actors. Yeah. Okay. So it is because Indonesia's regulation seems insufficient to support children. I don't know, probably there's something wrong with the social ministries or the certain agencies that is protecting the rights of the children and also moms, right? With that in mind, back to the second question, I think, sorry. um, okay, sorry. So, the children balancing school and normal childhood, I think it depends on the bigger picture. Okay, on the bigger picture, like for example, sometimes when the parents decide to go pro, I mean, like, to bring the children's going pro with their occupations, or their expectation go higher, means that probably school is not number one priority anymore, right? That being said, I can say that like what commonly happened in the entertainment industry, the children will focus more on what they want, or for example, like being influencers. But the duty of parents is providing education, and the education will be held in unusual format. For example, like by providing the homeschool education. So the children still facilitated, and it will be adjusted properly to the certain door of hours that are available in the sight of the students or the children, right? And um, and although it's also the duty of the parents uh, to provide mental educations. It is to protect the mental damage that can be freely given through social media. But more importantly, I think they can still be protected because when it comes to social media, it is operated by the parents. Right? I don't know if the children now can be that seamlessly or can that freely to operate their social media, but I think at the moment they focus on the careers, they will be more on the activities rather than being the one on the as the social media operators, especially if they I mean, like, if we're talking about the influencers, I think um uh in the upper level of layers, yeah, I mean, like, they will have the team that will that will be the first gate for them to filterize the comments and everything, so it will stick, or it will be stuck there, right? Okay, so it doesn't pass through the actors, which is the children who become influencer. Okay, so there will be social media operator, and also there will be how to say, it's like the buzzers to defend the children themselves. I don't know. I think everything can be made right now, right? So the harms that potentially affect the children can be mitigated, anticipated, reduced to very smallest level on that. So ultimately, the children can still balance the school, but again, the problem is the parents, because not all the parents have awareness towards children education, because not all not all parents of the children who has a potential to become influencers are educated, and that's the problem. When the parents are not educated enough, they are more heavily finance concentrated or focused or centered. So what they focus on getting profit as many as possible. Okay, with that in mind, there is a higher possibility that the educations of the kids influencer will be neglected, right? Because yeah, because that's what's happening now. Because at the end of the day, the what you need to do after finishing the school, even after to the level of university, is getting work, right? if you if you can bypass the years of education, yeah, how rich you can be, right? If you can start working earlier, right? Like I mean, like certain kid influencers already got their millions in their 10 years old. Why why bother waiting? Why bother studying? Why bother wasting your time studying, right? If you can work faster, earning well money faster. That's some what comments from me. Back to you again, Mr.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunshine, for the answer. And I think we're gonna focus to the next question here. Current child protection laws sufficient, or do we need new legal le- legalization specifically for digital content creation? And the legend here has joined us, Mr. Januar or Netizen Maya. Can you please answer this question? What?
Oh my
Just
God, you
laugh? Is it
laugh.
really? Ah! All right. I think I'll Tarisa Najwa again. Hello? Tarisa Najwa?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Um, Sorry. Are current child protection laws sufficient, or do we need new legislation specifically for digital content creation? Maybe we don't need to have new legislation specifically for digital content creation, because current child protection laws, it's enough. And yeah, it's enough. But back parents have a big impact to protect their children uh, who is an influencer. That's my comment.
All right. Thank you, Kak Tarisa. And finally, the legend has came again. Mr. Yanuar, can you please answer this question for me? It's been a while.
Hello, test 1, 2, 3.
Hello, you're audible.
Okay. What's your last question, Sir Haras? Sorry, I just got out from a room because of lack of you know my connection here is so bad.
Yeah, it's okay, mister. It's fine.
Okay. What's the
Go
last
for it.
question there? Oh, this is.
This is the question.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to answer on this question. It's because I've just followed this kind of discussion, but I think yeah, I just prepared my best. From my perspective, based on this question, I think the to these days, especially where some kind of you know uh, content creator is as we know today, there are so many creative generation people who are to be a content creator, especially the kids. Yeah, especially like just Harris as best of content creator in Indonesia. And I think for this kind of case, we I think the people, the community, or maybe the core institution like a government should be provide the legal law, or maybe just rule to control our youngest content creator, especially like a kid or children one, to maybe protect themselves prevent to prevent any of negative side the content. As you know that the internet to these days, there are two sides. There are good and also a bad side. So maybe for the kid content creator, as I know for this kind of case, maybe they especially could explore what they want to express, what they want to upload to their content media, maybe about their favorite games, their favorite novel, or maybe favorite movies. Yeah, it's free to them because the kids are also are on their exploration time. They are specifically they're gaining some kind of wonderful experience, but they are also vulnerable. I mean, to the some kind of garbage, or maybe some kind of abusing things. Yeah, just just like I said, just what we heard before about the Epstein case, that there is a kids abusement, there is a child pornographic. Yeah, that's our task as a adult to protect our youngest generation from the bad bad things con- from the internet. I think that's my answer. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yanwar. I want to hear a answer from Kaulia.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I think I agree with Mrs. Tarisa Najwa. If our country already has law, love of children, so I think we didn't need special law for content creation. Digital content creation is one of the jobs, so I think the parents, the media, or the society just need to understand how to protect children and how to manage the the response in media social or in real life. I think as long as we all of us be wise for kids influencer, the kids can live normally and we can protect the child. So I think that we didn't need to release new legislation. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Aulia, and we're gonna move to the next question here. All right, what happens to a child's sense of self when their identity is tied to likes, views, and public perception from a young age? Does the existence of successful child influencers create unhealthy pressure on other children? Are we normalizing the commodification of childhood by allowing child influencers? What role should platforms, governments, and parents play? I want to hear from Mr. Sanch.
You asked me, Haras?
Yes, please.
Oh, Sorry, I required my attention. Okay.
No, it's okay.
All right, after this, Mr. Yanuar, yeah? Okay. Um, this is something dangerous, I must say, to be honest, because the moment we are drowned, the moment we are, how to say, it's like addicted to likes. It's like gaming. If you ever doing games, you don't want that your focus will be somehow disturbed with something else, right? You just totally ignore how the words revolves around you. You just focus on yourselves, right? So the same with the child when they are drunk with the likes, with the views, which should be something how to say dijauhkan from the parents from them, and there should be, I told you, um, people or probably the parent themselves who being the operator, who being the, how to say, it's like the editor for the videos and publishing them, right? So this, if it is in the hands of the children themselves directly, it will certainly create unhealthy pressures on them. And as I told you before, the mental instability is so high because they don't have a mental barrier that is strong at that age. And the moment when the regulation is absent or not existed in supporting or protecting the kidfluencer means that we agree that the children are being the commodity, because this is so funny, right? Because they are inherently cute, right? Just like Abe, for example. Like, oh my God, there's so much. He's so adorable. Like how the kids talking with the adults talk, the adults way, and this struggling. Everyone is like, how to say, amazed and captivated, mesmerized with that. Okay, but um without the conscience of the children, without the children's knowing and realizing, they are being the commodities, they are commercialized, they are monetized by the parents, right? Okay, so when we do not concern with that, and we do not concern with that because what we focus more on the on what existed in the reels, right? We as the viewers never ask to the parents like how they get school, how you mentor. We don't do that. We just say, "Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh my God, that's like some praises or some, how to say, some mockings, right?" And that's it. So, um, um, the government should extend the platforms, the regulation, to increase more protections to the children. And I think when it is well managed, the economics behind the legal commodifications of kid influencers will be so much, will be so large, even in a way comparable uh, to judo or online gambling. Right, online gambling have been decapitate the economics of our country in developing countries, right? But what if we move this power belongs to the children by providing them with certain empowering regulations that make them united even better, stronger, and more fair. I think this is something that not only benefit the children in the futures, but also the parents and the governments at the end of the day. Back to you, Haras. Thank you.
All right, thanks for the answer, and that's really good answer, honestly. And I want to hear from netizen Maya. You may answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Hannah, for your chance given to me as a
I don't hear you, Mr.
hello.
Me
Uh,
too.
There's
Hello? Yeah.
some kind of bad connection. Okay, I continue my answer. Yeah, I do agree what said to Mr. Shanshan before as this kind of issue. Um, as we know that the generation of Gen Z or well, yeah, Gen Z, the late Gen Z or maybe Alpha generation, they are solely rely on technological advance, not just like the prior generation, just like a millennial or maybe a X generation. But the drawback of the um, the advantage of the technological advance to their newer generation, just I mentioned before, this make them as individualists, or maybe there are so yeah, so egoistic, yeah, some kind of culted ecosystic generation. They are less careless to the others, but better than the prior generation. It is because they are mostly spend their time on their social media better than their communicate with other when they are going outside. That's what I saw on the surroundings by this day, because the effect of the yeah, as you know that child content creator, child influencer, I mean, this also influence how to how to many children to to what is it to what I know um kind of this is influence to many of the children how to communicate or maybe to interact with others, maybe with their friends or maybe or another community. That's the drawback, I think just like Mr. Sunshine said before that our children influencer must be what is Tiwataya, I mean. What is in English? I don't know. Yeah, there must be just like that, and then they must be have a role, have a adult role from their parents, maybe, or maybe from their teachers to guide them as a influencer to spread the positive things, spread the positive contents to the other children to make the best learning such of online platform to these days. I think just enough for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Yanuar. And I want to hear from Kak Tarisa Najwa.
Okay. Mm, um, what happens to a child's sense of self when their identity is tied to likes, views, and public perception from a young, young age? I think when self-worth is tied to digital metrics, as child experiences, they will feel invisible or worthless without constant likes and views, and maybe uh, they they will stop being themselves and start acting out a character that sells well to the public. And thus, the existence of successful child influencers create unhealthy pressure on other children. Mm, from maybe yes, because child influencers create unhealthy pressures by like childhood saved from a time of play to a race for views and followers, and they uh they have a permanent pressures like the idea that a hobby is only valuable if it can be shared or liked. And Are we normalizing the commodification of childhood by allowing child influencers? On this era, many parents normalizing it. And what role should platforms, government, and parents play? From the platforms, maybe they need to limit the age of the users so that children who is minor uh, can uh, can use it. Um, and from for the parents, they do and they should protect and supervise their children in becoming influencer. Back to you.
All right. I want to hear from the last person here, Miss Aulia. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. What happens to a child's sense of self when their identity is tied to likes, view, and public perception from a young age? Actually, I agree with Mrs. Tarisa Nature opinion. If the child to focus on fac- on some factor like likes, view, and public perception, uh, they can lose their identity and their self because maybe what actually they want they like it can different with people like and people hope. So people likes and view or public perception sometimes can make positive impact to us. We can know what we can know if we can know if some people like us, but if the children to focus on like view and public perception, I think the children can lose their self and just do what people hope. And second question, does the existence of successful child influencer create unhealthy pressure on other children? Actually, for me, if the children can can make different, if every people has their own passion and condition, this is not impact this is will not make unhealthy pressure. But if the children didn't know still can different the good one or the bad one, I think the children can get unhealthy pressure. And the last question, are we normalizing the commodification of childhood by allowing child influencer? Mm, I think this is need parents. This is need collaboration with parents. I think if I think if children become influencer and make some money, it's good if the money saved for their future. But if the parents make the children become the main, they become the main of family income. For example, a family income just come from the child. It's not good. I think it we can say that is exploitation because the child need to make need to earn money and can lose their adulthood time. What should the next question? What role should platform, governments, and parents play? For platforms, I think the platforms need to identity the root comments the rude comments or negative content for the childhood influencer. And the government, I think government need to protect the children and how do you say uh, mengawasi the progress of childhood content. And the parents play, I think the parents of childhood influencer need to need to protect their children mentality and and their children mentality and emotionality. If the children emotionality can be drained, I think the parents didn't have to push the children in influencer era. Yeah, I think that's all from me.
All right, that's a long answer, but moving on to our last question, everybody. All right, should or should not kids be influencers? All right, so I want to hear an answer from Kak Tarisa Najwa.
Yes. For the question, should or should not kids be influencers? If it support their future, like expose their hobbies or their achievement, which really support their future, I would prefer to influence the kids. But if it just for have fun, like what is the trend, it's like velocity, or something that is not really support their future, maybe I prefer the parents to ask their children permission first, because not all of kids want to be influenced. Okay, that's all.
All right, that's a good answer, and we're gonna move on to Mr. Yanwar. Hello.
I,
Okay.
okay, this kind of complex question. I should digest of this question carefully. Should or should not kids be influencers? From my perspective, just like the previous speaker before, I think every kids give birth, who were born on this kind of life, they are gifted to their skills, variety of skills. Not every of kids or children should be a content creator or influencer. Maybe yeah, just like a same previous speaker before, that their parents should be mawadai. I don't know. Yes, this kind of that. Their parents should act to their kids before.
Provide.
Yeah, yeah, provide. And parents should provide their kids, whether they want to be a content creator, influencer, or maybe such another, maybe storyteller, maybe, or maybe they provide some of the specific kind of knowledge to prepare for their future dreams. I think the kids must be well informed, or maybe well educated. It is, yeah, for me, this for their future, I think. And for the Indonesia, especially as general, we are a lack of STEM, STEM generation, because of too many our youngest generation are dragged into the influencer rather than be such as professor, or maybe yeah, engineer for 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 our beloved country. I think we are still far behind. Um, another ASEAN countries, just like Vietnam, maybe Singapore, because our science math score indicator score in ASEAN ranking is far below than Vietnam or Singapore. Maybe we could, as a adult generation, maybe as a government should be optimize their STEM education with fun ways better than bored ways. Is motivate or push our children to be interested or intrigued to learn about STEM, to yeah, to develop well to our developed country. I think that's my answer. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to Miss Aulia.
Okay. For me, uh, should or shouldn't kids be influencer? If the kids already know what they want, what they and if the parents can protect their kids, I think the kids can be influencer. But if the kid still cannot ma- but if the kids still cannot manage their emotionality and the parents can protect the kids, I think the kid shouldn't be influencers because the kids still have time to study and to identity what they want. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Aulia, and we're gonna move on to our last uh person, Mr. Sunshine.
Wait.
What is your
Okay.
opinion on this question?
Okay. This question reminds me of Fajar Said Boy. Fajar Said Boy actually gets so much popular. He hits the viral because the college. That he becomes the sole evidence that we need to try, the kids should try, and we need to also highlight that the numbers of poor people in our country are so massive, right? The unemployment rate is so high, right? So with that in mind, I think being influencer is one of the most promising ways to change our fate, our destiny, especially if they are coming from how to say underdeveloping families, or how to say poor families. Yeah, they should be more facilitated. They should have awareness. Even having awareness is something privilege for them. And to think about this as well. Um, so I don't really don't give a damn whether they become influencers, something better, good. Uh, what I have in mind at the very first time is how they can escape poverty. When they become rich enough, I think it will be bridging them into thinking about education where it is more accessible for them in that level of life that they have after getting sufficient money to earn some grades in education. Yep. So they should be influencers, and they should be facilitated. This is also this reminds me as well about the idea of sustainable circle or cycle, right? It reminds me of that there are a few days before Ramadan, right? And as Muslims, they are obliged to pay zakat, right? So in the case of muzaki and mustahik, those who deserve zakat, right? But again, our mission is how we can live or change the conditions of those who deserve zakat to become muzaki, who provides or gives zakat. And it will be somehow a great idea if the influencers can educate and nurture um, young or kids influencers to become great like them, especially those who come from unsupported backgrounds, especially economical. Yeah, so at the end of the day, the kids should be influencers, regardless of the content. But I hope it's positive content. And the moments they got virals, yeah, some of them are living up to their reputations, maintaining it, but some of them are just the stories. So, yep, at the end of the day, I hope that everyone can escape from being poor, can better their life, can have a satisfied welfare equality in their life? Yes. So the answer is yes. Back to you again, Harris.
All right. Thank you for the last question. Thank you for the last answer, Mr. Sunshine. Oh my God. All right, guys. So thank you for all of you guys that has attended this meeting, this discussion. And yeah, and thank you so much for Mr. Sunshine for helping me with this discussion. And thank you very much to Ota that has been letting me grow and even like like my last discussion is actually like 2023 or 2024. It's been like 2 or 3 years ago. And I think I have improved, and especially that people like Mr. Sunshine, Mr. Indre, Mr. Who, like those people actually impacted me to being like to become a much better person and to become a much better English speaker. And like also in my last discussion, like 3 years ago, Mr. Yanuar actually helped me answering the questions and stuff. And for all of the people that has watching me since I was in the beginning, thank you so much. And yeah, I think that's all from my discussion today. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much for our moderator tonight, Haras. Let's give round of applauses for him. And thank you everyone for being available, enjoying our discussion tonight, even with few people. But I think it is something worth celebrating. Okay, I love you all because it's Valentine Day.
You can enjoy with your
I
wife,
suppose
Mr. Sunshine.
I I
Oh,
supposed
they're
to
married.
bring, yeah, I mean like
Actually, the
universally,
Valentine
yeah,
with
this
this discussion.
universal law.
No, not with me. I don't want with the Epstein 2.0.
I mean like initially I want to provide like more romantic topic, but because probably it's not the age of us to talk to start talking about that, then yeah, okay, let's go with kids influencer.
Kind of
Okay.
topic must needs parental advisory for her.
Exactly, Juliana.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we have an appreciation for our Haras. This is something for Haras. Thank you so much, Haras, for your dedications to be able to stay consistent these few years, and I hope that onwards you still be more magnificent and keep growing limitlessly. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So thank you everyone as well for being here. And before closing, we would like you all to open the camera so that we can capture um our presents today before closing the discussion. Okay, Miss Saulia, Miss Teresa, if you don't mind opening the camera. Right. Okay. Right. We wait for Miss Tarisa. Are you there, Miss Tarisa?
Let's wait.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know why Epstein leave us that's so fast. He's always like that. All right. Okay, everyone. I think we can start taking the picture. Okay, first on my count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait. Okay. Now we let Haras to decide the gesture. Okay, how is the gesture, Haras?
Bapak, I guess.
Okay,
For
thumbs.
this time.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs
Thumbs
up,
on the left.
everybody.
Okay, thumbs on the left. Right.
Good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Okay, the last. Okay, last move, Haras.
Last
What?
move. What should I do?
Mhm. Okay,
What
kid
do you think,
influencer
Mr.
influencing
Sunshine?
us. Okay, please.
Ah,
Okay,
I
on
don't
the left.
know. All right.
Okay.
Let her know.
Okay, last. Okay, on my count. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward for you guys to joining our discussion next week. So see you and bye bye. Have a good day. Happy weekend. Bye bye,
About
everyone.
motto.
Thank you,
Thank
Haras.
you,
Thank
ah.
you, Mr. Yanuar. Thank you,
Bye.
Larissa and
The
Alia. Bye
good satellite.
bye. Good night.